Welcome to Unity on the Mountain. It's so good to see these smiling faces out here. Welcome. We're going to go ahead and stand up and we're going to open up our service with a new song for the month. So, Mind Energy. Well, not really. We've done it before.
Let's go for it.
Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Divine energy flows through me, cleansing my thoughts and making me whole. Calm and quiet, strong and clear, God's voice within me knows no fear. Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Calm and quiet, strong and clear, God's voice within me knows no fear. Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Divine energy flows through me, cleansing my thoughts and making me whole. Calm and quiet, strong and clear, God's voice within me knows no fear. Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Calm and quiet, strong and clear, God's voice within me knows no fear. Divine energy flows through me, healing my spirit, body, and soul. Healing my spirit, making me whole. Namaste. Say good morning to your fellow neighbor, shaking hands. Go ahead. Sunday of the month. What is this month? Is this already May? May birthday. Anybody here that has a May birthday?
David. Yeah, mine was last month, but David's it. Yeah, he's not here today, but.
And half my family was. And half her family. It was a very popular month. It wasn't a very cold fall. Okay, so say happy birthday to all the birthday babies. Happy birthday to
Sunday morning.
Good morning.
We're going to have a wonderful day today. We're going to have a guest speaker, and after that we're going to have our potluck lunch, and we're also going to have a workshop. I'd just like to tell you just a little bit about our speaker today, Celia Filla. Celia has been a religious science practitioner since 2004 and an interfaith minister since 2006. She is an international healer and a national speaker. From 2004 to 2014, she had her own outreach ministry in Florida. Her ministry fed thousands of people on the streets of Fort Pierce, Jensen Beach, and Stewart. She opened her home to help the needy and homeless men who were dying and had no family to care for them. Awesome. One of her passions is working with the elders that have been forgotten. She has spent many hours caring and learning from them. In 2015, Celia had a healing experience with John of God in Brazil, and she is currently a Portuguese-speaking tour guide, taking her clients to see him 3 times a year. She also holds retreats in other sacred places. Celia is a gifted, intuitive healer, serving her clients in person and on phone. So we are really looking forward to hearing from Celia today. Let's start out our service now with our opening statement. There
is only one presence and one power in my life and the universe, God the Good.
And here we have our Christ candle to remind us of that light that is always with us and shining through us. And let's now have our vision and mission statements.
Centered God, we inspire spiritual transformation, creating a world of love, peace, and prosperity. We are an inclusive spiritual community, inspiring, awakening, and serving in love.
And let's not forget the children. We have one young man with us today.
And a couple went downstairs already.
Let's bless the children downstairs as well as the child within. We
love you. We bless you. We behold the Christ in you. We accept you just the way you are. Walk in beauty. You are divine.
I love them. I love looking right into the eyes. I can tell right to them. Don't forget that, Disney. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stand up and sing another song. It's actually in your red book if you do want to follow along there. It's number 241, 241. And the words, of course, will be on the wall. Yeah, the wall. That's what it's called. We're going to sing it 2 times through. Ready? The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. I want to know you more. I want to know you more. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest
each situation as it is flowing through each one of us here and now. And for this awareness, we give our thanks, and so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. It's now time for our daily word, and if you'd like to follow along, it's on the insert. The abundance of the universe flows to me. I accept it with joy and gratitude. Some people may think of prosperity as something to be earned, a goal to be achieved. In spiritual truth, prosperity is a natural expression of divine love, the infinite essence of all life. Prosperity flows abundantly through every atom in the universe and through every cell of my body. If my prosperity feels stifled, I know that any limitations are of my own making. Perhaps I am forgetting to stay vigilant against such thoughts when they appear. Not to worry, such negative thoughts are dissolved as I appreciate the many ways in which prosperity is already expressed in my life. My prosperity comes when I experience more of God. I open my heart to receive and accept the abundance of the universe. And now from Luke 12:32. Do not be afraid, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And now as we prepare our hearts to say and speak to our Heavenly Father through the Lord's Prayer. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Moving even deeper into that place of connection. Feeling the outside world just drift away. It is here within us. Our master teacher said, go into your closet and close the door. Meaning go inside of you, and close out the outer. For that divine entity, energy, Father, Mother God, is in heaven, and heaven is within us. Breathe in to heaven. Here now, in this moment. Knowing at any moment we can open ourselves to that power, the light, the joy, the truth. And in this place, as we are gathered together in this moment, we are joined together in oneness. And as we allow that oneness is all that there is, we we, you, me, are the universe. The universe is beyond the universes in this moment. And as you continue to breathe into that awareness and understanding, you move into that silence, the silence of communion, in the silence. And gently bring your awareness just halfway back, knowing we are one with the creative substance of the universe. We are the channels that God reaches out and does creative work through. We are the channel that peace flows out into this world. Allow yourself to become aware of peace flooding into you, through you, and out. Breathe peace. We are the creative channel for all that is in addition to nature. Allow that creative energy to be the truth of who you are. Knowing we are creating. We are creating our world. We create our experiences, we create our actuality as we allow. And let us create that actuality of love and joy wherever we show up. Wherever we show up, we are that divine love. We are divine joy. We are peace and we are healing. In this awareness, we say, thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Now, Celia, you can stay here, you can go there, whichever is
We'll just go
where
and
you
dance.
want.
We'll
So,
just go
yes.
and dance. Oh, so good morning.
Good morning.
So one thing that I do not claim to be a mind reader, but I know that in this room right now, there is plenty of you here that are thinking right now, what is it with the bald head? And so I just want to clear that out of the way right now. Yes, I did have a healing with John of God a few years ago, and I can't tell you how liberating it is to not have any hair. And I know that as I walk out in the streets that I am creating conversations in people's heads of what it is that's going on with me. And especially here in your town. I have gotten so many looks And I know that I have created lots of conversations. And so today, before we begin, I am really co-creating this talk here with Spirit. I have nothing really memorized. What I'm going to do here is to share with you my stories to demonstrate that there is a power, there is a presence. And when we align ourselves to that power and presence, that our lives, the abundance really does flow into our lives. So I'm going to put on a song here. It's a chant. It's a prayer. It's really to help me to step out of the way. We already created the space here. I'm feeling the energy. That's why it's already flowing here. But I want to put on the chant here, Ricky Byer chant. Anyone here not familiar with Ricky Byer? So that I can open up and I can step aside my ego, my fears, so I'm not nervous up here, so I can really be God is channeling through. And for you to maybe open up your heart today, to hear something that maybe you need to hear, because I know that I have come, 11-hour drive, and some folks would think that that's absolutely crazy. But there's someone in here. There's someone in here today that needs to go a little deeper. There's someone in here today that needs to hear my message. Otherwise, God would not have made me drive that far today. So I'm going to try to do the spirit, technical spirit. It's kind of hard when you're trying to do both, but I'm going to try to put this song on for us. And so you don't want to hear me sing. Trust me. Okay? I really do believe that in a past life I was a singer, so I still think I am. So you want to be louder than me, okay? Because trust me, I will be loud. So it's pour yourself in me. And if you do not know the words, you will catch on real fast. Because it's just a chant. It's just going to repeat itself. How's that? Too loud?
No, not enough.
Feel that energy as we just close our eyes and just allow ourselves to open up, to receive, to open up to accept the loving presence that's always here with us. Always here with us. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful
my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, dance and smile in me. Dance and smile into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, dance and smile in me. Dance and smile into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit.
Oh, so we just take that breath and really, we probably can all just go home right now. Right? I mean, there's no way that I can describe with words what spirit is. None of us can. We need to really embody that presence. We need to stop and feel it and to sense it, to experience it. And I'm just so grateful to be here today with people that are hungry for truth, people that are thirsty. Because it's Sunday morning and we could be doing a million other things today. And we decide to be here. Why? Why did we decide to be here? Because Spirit wants us to go deeper. Spirit wants to express through us and as us. And so the topic today is about abundance because I chose that topic because I have to be reminded over and over again. You know, it's layers upon layers that we need to strip away from our energy field that keeps us stuck in life sometimes. You know, we know that all we need to do is speak the word and it's done, but it's really not that simple, is it? No. It is really a life journey. It is work that we need to do, and sometimes the work is challenging. So for me, coming from Brazil, I was born in Brazil, I was very poor. So in my energy field is that life that I had as a very young child and the life of my grandparents, because after all, we were always poor. Okay, I remember coming into this country here back in 1968, and I remember my dad being here trying to save money to bring the family of 5 that were in Brazil. I mean, I remember being in bed with my mom and my 3 brothers, and every night one of us would end up on the floor. So how do you let that go from your energy field? You know, how do you let that go? You know, we know it up here. You know, that we know that God is, our source. That God is, gives us the abundance of all that's good if we're in the flow. But to get it out of our heads takes us really clearing that energy field. So that's why I chose this, because just like you, I need to hear this lesson here today. I need to hear it again and again and again and again to remember. But I am here today to tell you, by demonstrating that I have let go and I have let God, and because of it, my life is always in the flow. So I'm going to go back and tell you a little bit about my story here. In 2004, I got my practitioner license. And I thought I had a ride for all those ministers and practitioners that go through the courses. We think that once we get that license, that we're there. And guess what? That's really when the work begins for us. Because we're here as leaders. And in order for us to be a leader, we need to understand what our people are going through. In order for us to understand what our people are going through, we have to go through it. So I had to learn a lot of lessons throughout my life here. And so I got my license and I started this outreach ministry, and I became a minister mostly because I was doing an outreach ministry out in Florida. I was feeding the homeless, and I needed recognition for what I was doing. I needed, not only in a deep level, I needed that love from people that I hadn't healed yet, but I also needed people to give me money. I needed to be a nonprofit. I needed people to recognize what I was doing so I can really do what I wanted to do. And so from 2004 to 2008, somewhere around there, you know, I was doing my outreach ministry. I had my own business, and things were going really, really good for me. I was able to save some money, and so I went through a separation from a man that was almost my second husband. And I bought him out, and I ended up buying a home, and so everything was good, but I was renting a room to help me support the mortgage. Like I hit the hurricanes in Florida, my mortgage went up tremendously with the insurance, and so I was renting a room, and the county busted me and said, you can't do that. You can't do that. And so they wanted to charge me $500 a day for every day that I had some stranger in my house. And so, of course, the strangers that were coming to my house were people that were already kind of in need. You know, they were needing a room, and they were needing my counseling. And so that's when the market in Florida and around the country went belly up, and my mortgage was so high, and I just heard Spirit say so loud and clear, let the house go. Just let it go. And so I followed. Thank God I followed it, because my house was, I bought it for $290,000. It sold for $58,000. But it was 6 years later. It was 6 years from the time I heard Spirit say, let the house go, before the banks actually closed on my house. And guess what I did for the next, you know, almost 6 years was now I don't have a mortgage. Now I can really do what I want to do, and that is to be ministering in my community. So I started bringing in the homeless and doing all that beautiful work.
So you stayed in your house?
I stayed in my house for 6 years. 6 years. And the county never came back. It came back 4 years later. So in between, I'm not going to go into the whole story, but in between, I let everybody go, the homeless thing. I said, no more, I'm done with the babysitting. After 4 years of having homeless people, all kinds of drug addicts in my house, I said, I'm done, I'm tired, I'm done. And so in between that, the county came in, and there was nobody in the house. I have a 6-bedroom house. There was nobody in the house, and they're like, if you do this again, it's $500. And I'm like, no, it's never going to happen again. I'm done. But of course, I wasn't done. Spirit wasn't done. And I started bringing in, and now homeless that were dying and had no family. So I did that for almost another 2 years. County never came back. Spirit blessed it once again. So what I'm telling you this story for the reason is because at that time, even though God was blessing me, okay, we need to be in the law of circulation, the cause and effect. We must give, okay. And yes, I don't want to lock the doors. We're talking about tithing here. We just need to give our money, okay. We want more money in our lives, but it's more than that. We need to give, but we need to learn how to receive, okay. This is where I was having issues at that time. Okay, I was giving, no problem, but I was really having a hard time receiving. I left my bed to give to a stranger, to give to a homeless. So I wasn't very good at receiving. I really wasn't good at taking care of me. I was just giving. And so I still do volunteer work. If you want more time in your life, you need to be a volunteer. It's that whole thing. If you want more money, give out more money. If you want more time, you got to give your time. So I was just in the hospital a couple weeks ago doing my work, and there was a gentleman there, and you could tell he was really having a hard time cutting his meat. So I said to him, can I help you? And he said, no, his pride, no. And so I explained to him, do you understand this is a law of circulation here? Okay, by you saying no to my blessing that God has brought me into this room right now to help you, you have just stopped me from helping you. Now you're going to stop the blessing to come into my life, because everything is a circulation. You give and you receive. So you're now stopping me from receiving my blessing. And he said, I never heard it that way. That makes so much sense now. So when somebody comes and wants to give you something, even if it's just a compliment, do not stop people from blessing you. That's God bringing them into your path to bless you, because we have to circulate. So during this whole time, this is where my issue was. My issue was giving. I wasn't very good at receiving, and God kept blessing me. Because in 2009, when I decided to let the house go, this is when I decided, well, I don't have a mortgage anymore. now I can just be a minister full time. And so I quit my job. It's been 2009 is when I quit working. And I'm just now in the flow of spirit, okay? So in 2009, this is what was happening to me, but I was being blessed. I was being blessed. I was even given a building to do a thrift store where I was given back to the community, the building to be used. I still couldn't accept. The woman said, you can use the building as long as you need to. When you start making some money, then you can start paying some rent. Don't worry about it. So, you know, this is a free building, and yet every month I was worried about having to pay her. So what was going on there, and this is what we have to understand, I was in such a place of judgment. I was judging myself. Here I was a practitioner, here I was a minister, and I wasn't manifesting as much as I thought I needed to be manifesting. I thought that ministry, I thought that I should have been doing so much for my community, which I was. I really was. I had homeless people living in my home. I was taking care of the elders in my community. I was doing so much, but yet my mind was, I'm not doing enough. And so when we get caught in that, okay, when we get caught in that judgment, it's like the kitchen sink in your house. That water cannot flow down those pipes if it's full of gook. And so if we have these thoughts going on in our energy field, we are blocking the flow of spirit. And so 2014 is where I really also felt that I needed to move on. So I came out of a Vipassana. Anybody here know Vipassana? Lucy, Vipassana meditation. And I came home without any thought that this was going to happen. But I heard it so loud and clear, sell the thrift store. I'm like, sell the thrift store? Never thought I would sell the thrift store. Never even crossed my mind. Maybe give it away, close it down, but sell it. So I made a few $1,000s, and from there I paid all my little bills and was debt-free, except, of course, for my house. Okay? But the woman that came into my store to buy my thrift store, her name is Celia. She's from Brazil. She's a minister, and she had the same intention to take care of my community. So I was able to step away, and she took over. Okay? I needed to leave. So I could have stayed in Florida. I could have stayed in Florida with my friends. My kids are there. I could have stayed in Florida, but something within me said, it's time for you to jump. It's time for you to really, really, really start having faith in me. And so I jumped. I left Florida with a couple $100s in my pocket without any idea. And this was, I was already in my 50s. I had no idea where I was going, except I was going back to Vipassana for another 25 days of meditation. And from there, see what Spirit led. I can tell you right now, okay, this was the best thing I ever did in my life. I don't have a lot of money in my bank account, but I am totally, completely taken care of, because the principle, the thing that I learned is to accept. This is the key, you guys, is acceptance of wherever you are in your life. Whatever is going on in your life, you just need to get to a place of accepting it, knowing that God loves you, and God loves me. And God always has our back. If we could just accept who we are, for who we are, at every moment on our journey, then we really get into that flow of abundance. And so I ended up all the way out in New Jersey, okay? All the way out in New Jersey, and that deal didn't go through for me. And within 3 days of being out in New Jersey, I am now homeless, because at this point I had less money, okay? I'm all the way down there, my family's up in Florida, and I'm like totally, completely homeless. And I wish I could say that it was effortless and grace that flowed through me, but I was scared to death. I got to experience what people call a panic attack. Anybody in here know what I'm talking about? I never knew what a panic attack was. But it took a panic attack for me to finally get to a place that I said to myself, I can't even breathe without the help of God. And thank God this being homeless, and thank God that I connected the dots at that moment where I went right into prayer, right into meditation, right into remembering that God's got my back. That it was only 3 hours later that I landed a job with somebody that was suicidal. And I was able to move in and get her through that. And from there, Spirit led me to Georgia, where once again, everything's in divine order. I had to take care of an elderly man who had anxiety attacks. And so for me to be able to help him and understand him, I had to go through that anxiety attack myself. And so everything in life is truly in divine order if we can accept the experiences and not judge ourselves, because it could have been so easy for me in New Jersey to really judge myself. Here I was, totally broke, no place to live, and being a practitioner and a minister. And so, fast forward, I was called back to Florida. I'm back right where I started. It was very interesting. It's like, okay, here I am. Okay, God. And of course, you all know that I've done John of God now. I was called to go to John of God, been out there. Through the whole experience of walking out, leaving Florida, I have traveled. I have been to Brazil 5 times. Somehow, some way, the money comes. Everything that I need comes to me. I'm not saying this to brag, I'm just saying this because God is powerful. And if we trust and we surrender and we let go and we stop judging ourselves, and we don't try to manipulate God by giving our money away at church on Sunday, but to know that we're giving that 10%, because I've been giving my 10% from the day I walked into a Signs of Mine church 20 years ago, almost 20 years. And you can see through my body here that I am not, and I do that before I buy my food, I'm not lacking food, okay? So it's a principle that absolutely works, but we can't use it to manipulate God. We do it because when we give that money to church every week, is that we're going deeper in our faith. We trust that God is providing for us and that we can give freely without fearing that we're blocking it in any form or any way. So July, I was called back to Florida. My daughter, I've been praying for grandchildren. You gotta be careful what you pray for. Right? You gotta be careful because I got 3 in 1 year. Okay, my son had his first and my daughter had twins.
Oh my goodness.
What a blessing. What a blessing. But I was called back. I felt like I needed to be there for the kids, especially my daughter. She's this little tiny little thing. And so I came back to Florida, and my daughter and I have always had a beautiful relationship. Am I okay with time? Yeah. Beautiful relationship, beautiful relationship. I come back with my daughter, and the little beautiful daughter that I had turned into a real, you know what? Like, what happened to my lovely little daughter? So I'm there feeling that I'm committed to her till she had the baby. I figure I would stay till February and see what happens. And I'm just like pulling my hair saying to my son, I committed myself to staying with her, but this girl's driving me crazy. I mean, she didn't want me to work. She wanted me to take care of her the whole time. And so one day I just had it, and I'm talking to my son, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't just walk away from this because she'll never forgive me for it, you know? I get home and she says, Mom, I think we need to talk. She's like, I think you need to leave. And I said, hallelujah. Hallelujah. So God is so good. So I'm here in Florida, okay? And this is 6 months. The man that I was taking care of, when I left him, he was doing really well. He's no longer has his anxiety attacks. This man was in bad shape. And so I went back there in January to spend a few days with him and to do some more energy work on him. And the following day he fell, and from there went downhill, and he died 2 weeks later. Oh. And it was a true blessing because he was ready, and we were working on that when I went back to see him. And he died in his sleep, which was his prayer, which we prayed for, which I promised him that Spirit was going to hear him loud and clear, and he was going to get through this. But the blessing is that I just never know where my income is coming from. You know, I have a client here, I have a workshop there, and I just never know. I haven't known since 2009. And I just got a check for $10,000 from the family. It works. It works. And so I want you to understand that, you know, we can know this stuff in the head. And if you really think that you're going to get this stuff by just coming to a Sunday service, you will. It's just going to take a lot longer. Because it is really inner work. We need to take classes. We need to do workshops. We need to go to conferences. And, you know, and it is an inner job. So it's not that outside stuff that's going to get you to go deeper. But we're not walking on water yet. We're not walking on water. So we do need those things until we are at a place that we're so anchored. Because for me right now, the only thing I want is meditation. You know, if a church doesn't do enough meditation, it's not a home for me. I need to get quiet, okay? But it takes this unfoldment, okay? It takes this unfoldment. So I want to do a little exercise here right now, okay, with you guys. We're just going to go into a visioning. It's not a visualization here. We're not going to be visualizing what our lives are supposed to be like. We're going to go in, and if you don't get anything right now, I'm going to move some energy. If you don't get anything right now, that's okay. The thing is that we're asking. And when we ask, Spirit will deliver. It may be today, it may be tomorrow, but just be open. Just be open to get the message. What is your job? What is your next step? And so we're going to do a visioning process that Reverend Michael Beckwith started, 25, 30 years ago now, maybe even more, I don't even know. Does anybody here not know what a visioning process is? Everybody does. Okay, so we're just going to go within. No, okay, we're going to go within. We're taking a little meditation, and we're going to ask God. We're not going to ask our ego. We're going to ask God, what is our next step? Okay, and for some of us, it might just be to pick up a book. That might be where you're at, and that's okay. For others, it may be to take a class. For others, maybe Spirit is calling you to be a minister, and that's your next step. Maybe it's to go to John and God in Brazil with me. Maybe it's just to go into a Vipassana 10-day silent retreat center. If you want to know more about that, talk to me after service. But whatever it is, we're all here today by divine appointment. Yes. Every single one of us is here today because you heard the calling. God is good. You heard the calling to be here and you moved your feet towards it. So you're here. So there's something within you that's ready. It's ready. So we're just going to take a minute here and we're going to ask. Okay, and then we're going to finish up with that. And I'm going to ask, and I put on a song at the end. And then at the very end, when I put that song on, I'm going to move some energy. And I'm going to ask any other ministers or practitioners, any kind of light workers that is in the house to help me here, to help me with this energy movement. Okay, and we're just going to lift the consciousness of this congregation. We're going to just know that things are shifting here. Things are shifting here, and I want to come back here at some point. Come back here and just hear the great news, what God has done in your life. Because God is always waiting just for us. It's up to us to say yes to God. It's like Reverend Michael Beckwith always says, stop telling your God about your problems. Stop it. God already knows about your problems. It's time for you to tell your problems about God. There's more power to that. Sitting there begging. Okay? So just take a moment here with me as we just take a nice deep holy breath. We're taking that breath that is the breath of life, the breath of God. And there is absolutely nothing that we need to do but just simply be here. Be here now. And so I just want you to just take this moment here to drop into that heart space. Right there. The center of your chest. And just take a moment to step behind it. Go behind that heart. And as you do so, just visualize that there is a window there. This is that window that connects you to Spirit. Connects you to God, to that divine love that is here within each and every one of us. And so I just want you to visualize right now to just open up that window wide. Just open it up and just allow the sunshine of Spirit, that light of God. And allow that light to be any color that you choose. Any color that you choose. And allow it to just light up your whole body temple, infusing you with its unconditional love. And so in this space here, we're just going to ask God to help us out here, to bring up for us what needs to come up. Without any judgment, without trying to figure anything out, just be with it. When God just gently gives to us what we ask Spirit right now. What is that we need? We need to do, we need to be. to go deeper into our oneness here, to remember. What is it going to take for us to dive deeper? And we just allow Spirit to bring that for us. What we're ready to hear. Relaxing into the space. Just a little longer here in the silence. Just being grateful now for none of the answers that we seek. If it hasn't come to you yet, then it will be coming to you.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
And just stay with that heart space there. Just feel the gratitude of this day, of this exercise, this experience, of this communion here with Spirit.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed.
And if you choose to sing
I am
along,
so
make it
blessed.
louder than me.
I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have.
The other practitioners in the house, minister, please stand with me.
I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful.
go ahead and sing a song with feeling, though. We're going to go ahead and stand up, and it's a call and response, down in my soul. So now you can really feel down in my soul. Now you're going to feel it, see? So I sing it, and you sing it right back, and then we all sing the whole wide world is my home together. I hear the music, I hear the music, down in my soul, down in my soul. I hear the music, I hear the music, down in my soul, down in my soul. I feel the music, I feel the music, down in my soul, down in my soul. All together. And the whole wide world is my home. I've got a new day, I've got a new day, down in my soul, down in my soul. I've got a new day, I've got a new day, down in my soul, down in my soul. I've got a new day, I've got a new day, down in my soul, down in my soul. Together. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence, I love the silence, down in my soul, down in my soul. I love the silence, I love the silence, down in my soul, down in my soul. I love the silence, I love the silence, down in my soul, down in my soul. Together. And the whole wide world is my home. Feel this power. I feel the power. I feel the power. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I feel the power. I feel the power. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I feel the power. I feel the power. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is